Yes, this is the Voge 625 DSX 2025 model year. It's an adventure bike, 2 cylinders, and it's like in the middle between the 525 and the upper class bikes from Voge. So it fits in pretty nicely, I would say. It is not super equipped, but not too bad actually. We actually also have fog lights here included, and everything that you see here in my presentation is already included as a standard. And yeah, I will show you now the controls and the display. So on the left hand side we have the clutch lever, which is adjustable in 4 positions, and it is fairly light, so no problems there whatsoever. We have a light switch here for your index finger. We have an up and down button for the display. We have a mode switch. We have 2 modes available. We can switch between economy and sports mode. We have a traction control button here. We can turn off traction control. We can turn off ABS, and we have an enter button for the display. That is everything. No, we have the turn signal switch here, which is a little bit finicky, but still okay. And we have a horn here. On the right hand side we have the gas throttle here. We have the emergency cutoff switch. We have the switch for the fog lights, and we have the starter switch right there. In the middle we have the color LC display. It is kind of backlit, so it is actually fairly easy to read, although it is LC display, and inverted usually is not so good for when the sun shines on it. At the moment the sun is coming from the front and I can hardly see anything, but it's not that bad, but it could be better if they actually were to put a TFT display on it. We have basically all the information in the display here because we don't have any other screens or pages. We have the mode on the left hand side up there, E for eco mode, and we have a sports mode. We have the tire pressure monitoring system there. We have the fuel consumption underneath. We have the clock. We have the display of the odometer. We can switch that with our buttons here to trip. That is that. And we can also switch, as you can see up there, we can switch to the voltage, and yeah, we can switch between the voltage, the outside temperature, and the fuel consumption. On the right hand side we have the RPM counter. In the middle we have the speedometer, and we also have a gear indicator which shows neutral at the moment. I think that's more or less everything at the moment. Oh, by the way, you can actually, although it is an LC display, you can still navigate, use the turn-by-turn navigation. They have some arrows included here. You have to connect your mobile phone with it, and then you can use the turn-by-turn navigation on this display actually. That's quite nice, although it's LC display. Yes, this is the Voge 625 DSX 2025 model year, and we'll take it out for a little spin. Let's go. So first things first, when you get on the bike, yeah, I have to tiptoe a little bit more than tiptoe, so it's not that bad, but of course these adventure bikes are usually higher, so you know, I will put the seat height on the screen for you. It's a little bit higher, 835 or something like that. But it's still okay. I'm 175, 5'9", and so that just basically works. It is nicely equipped actually. We have a 12-volt socket here. We have USB connection here, and so if you want to attach anything like a extra display or navigation, you can do so. That is absolutely no problem. So let's start it up. Yeah, it is fairly comfortable. The seat feels hard, but I think on longer ride it is pretty nice. It's Basically gives me the same impression as Honda seats. Yeah, pretty nice. It's as I said, it's in the middle, so it's a little bit difficult to judge if it's, you know, better, more powerful, all that. That is very difficult for me, especially on this one, because 625, I have not ridden that many bikes with a displacement of that. Mostly, you know, you have the bikes around 500, or then you have the 750. Okay, might be almost 750 here, and or the 800-900s, 1000. So yeah, not that easy to put in perspective, I would say. Other than that, it has good brakes. We have 2 brakes in the front, really nice. We have 1 brake naturally in the rear. Everything, it is fairly new, the bike here, the test ride bike, but everything works quite nicely. And I cannot complain. It is very, very stable. Around the corners, on straight lines, very stable, or it rides like on rails. I have nothing to complain about. The only little complaint is the display. It's inverted LC. Okay, it's backlit, so it's a little bit better to see than the older Honda displays and so forth. But still, I wish they would have given it a TFT display nowadays. The other big gripe I have with this, unfortunately, is the windscreen. It's only adjustable in 2 positions, and this is the highest position already. So if you go above 50 usually already, then you get a lot of wind on your helmet. I cannot keep my visor open actually, because it's very, very windy and a lot of turbulence, so I need to keep it shut, and maybe you need to put something on top of it as an accessory, but the standard windscreen is really not that good. Yeah, so we're on the highway now, higher speeds. It's a very nice bike for traveling, I would say. It feels like a big bike, or also it looks like a big bike, but unfortunately, as I said, and I don't want to mention it again, the windscreen is quite terrible. And of course in the city maybe you will not notice it so much, but when you get up to maybe 100, then you have quite a lot of turbulence. And I also have to note, I didn't notice that before, now I do, I don't know why. I had another video in German and I didn't notice that in the previous video actually, but on this one if I go at higher speeds, there's a lot of micro vibrations here in the foot pegs. Not really here in the front, in the handlebar, not so much, but definitely in the foot pegs. It gives you a very good foot massage. And once again, another bike where I don't really have anything to complain about. It just rides, it does everything as it should, and so I can definitely recommend it to you as well. There's also a little teeny tiny bit of a problem with the throttle. It's a little bit jerky. I'm now in mode E. It's a little bit better, but in S mode it is also fairly jerky. But not as extreme as the Zontes 3-cylinder that I just test rode the other day. This one, I think after you get used to it, it is not that bad anymore, but it could be better, of course. Anyways, yeah, that's my fairly positive feedback here on the Voge 625 DSX, available in 2 colors this year, 2025 model year. Thanks very much for watching. This has been Ride Out. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cruising down the coast, sun on my face, on a brand new ride, taking my place. From scooters to beasts, every mile's a test. I push the limits, give you my